I have been very excited to try out the new 2D lights in Unity ever since it was revealed, and it's now finally available as preview, or actually experimental as it's called, in the lightweight render pipeline. So in this video, we're gonna check out the new 2D lights feature and see how you can use it. If you have any questions about the 2D lights or anything else really, make sure to leave a comment down on this video, and also join our Discord server with over 10,000 like-minded game developers who all love to help each other out. You can join us by going to the link in the description box of this video. And also, this video is brought to you by Hostinger. Hostinger is a fast and affordable web hosting platform. Hostinger provides cutting-edge web hosting, premium performance features, and a professional support team ready at all times. There are lots of features you get with Hostinger, ranging from MySQL databases all the way to a very nice website builder. It's also got a 99.9% uptime guarantee and a powerful control panel. I mean, for us game developers, when we make a game, it's very important to have a nice site running for it so that people can find out more about your project or even get in touch with you. And I believe that Hostinger can help with that because they not only have a lot of features like I mentioned earlier, but their services are highly affordable, which is especially useful for indie game devs. If you want to check out more about Hostinger, make sure to click the link in the description box of this video. Alright, so here we are in Unity, and one thing I want to get out of the way right before we begin is I'm running Unity 2019.2 0b4, which is the version that is stated on the forum thread for this feature, which acts like a set of instructions for getting this thing running. It states that we need this version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to that in the description box for you guys so that you can go there and download the required version of Unity to get this running. And as you can see, I have a very simple project running here using an asset pack from the Unity Asset Store, which is also going to be linked in the description. And this project is just a regular 2D project within Unity, and the problem here is that we need the lightweight render pipeline, or also named as LWRP, which is also stated in that forum thread that I was talking about, to get the 2D lights running in Unity. So as I'm not using lightweight render pipeline right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Window and then enter the package manager. Once we're in here, we want to go down to lightweight RP and specifically unfold all of the versions available, and then once again specifically pick the version 6.7.1, which is the required version for the 2D lights to work. Actually, this is the version of lightweight RP where the 2D lights feature is introduced to begin with. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick this and then hit install. There we go. So now we have the lightweight render pipeline in Unity, or at least our project. So next step is to create the rendering pipeline asset file for lightweight render pipeline. And it's really easy to do this, so just follow along. So what I'm gonna do is, this is something you can pick, but I'm gonna do this in the root folder, the assets folder in my project tab. So I'm just gonna right click anywhere empty and then go to create. And then in here, we wanna go into rendering, pick the lightweight render pipeline, and then finally hit the pipeline asset. So now for Unity to use this render pipeline asset file we just created, we need to assign it. So the way you do it is by going to edit and then going all the way down to project settings, and in the graphics field or the graphics tab, we want to go where it says scriptable render pipeline settings and hit the circle over here. And then in this list, we're just going to pick the pipeline asset file that we just created. Alright, there we go. So let's now close down the project settings. And next up, we're going to create a 2D renderer, which is needed for the 2D lights to work. So what we're going to do is, once again, we're going to hit right click here and then go into create, rendering, lightweight render pipeline, and this time 2D renderer. Cool. So now we have two new files that we just created, the 2D renderer and the lightweight render pipeline asset file. And now we're gonna select the lightweight render pipeline asset file we created, unfold general in the inspector window, and change the renderer type from forward renderer, which is the default option, to custom. And then where it says data, we're now going to put the new 2D renderer that we just created in here. Awesome. So now let's click ourselves out of this, and we can now go to game object, enter light, and then select 2D, and in here you can see that we now have 5 new light objects or options or sources, actually as they're called, that we can now add into our scene. So let's say, for instance, that we're gonna add a freeform light 2D. And you can see that it's now created as a little rectangle here. So what we can do is in the inspector window, we can first and foremost hit edit shape, and now we can extend this as we want to. And we could also, like on the stripes, hit, let's say here for instance, and it will create a new drag point for us. Or actually, I think they're called pivot points, which is very neat because it makes it working with it really, really easy. Oh, and actually, I just checked. These white points are not pivot points, they're called control points. Just a cool little addition there. However, as you can see, the light doesn't really affect any of the sprites in the scene or the scene itself, right? And that's because we already had all of these sprites set up in Unity before we converted the project into lightweight render pipeline and created the new 2D renderer. So it's really not just like applying all of the changes. So what we're going to do is we're once again going to go to edit, enter the render pipeline, lightweight render pipeline, and this time around we want to go into 2D renderer and pick to upgrade scene to 2D renderer. And let's go ahead and proceed. And now we can see some of the changes. So basically, I already, as you can see, it's kind of like pitch black all over the place, but that's because I already had some other like point lights and all that kind of stuff for 3D that was set up in the scene, right? Or actually the demo scene had it. And when we say upgrade the scene into 2D renderer, it's just kind of blocking all of the other types of lights and only focuses on allowing the 2D lights that we add. So for instance, let's go ahead and increase the fall off. And you can see that it becomes much more bright now. This kind of looks like a cool little fog of war effect, doesn't it? But yeah, this is pretty much how you use this feature, and there are obviously so many more light sources you can pick. So if we go into light 2D again, let's say we're gonna add, for instance, a point light. And now let's go ahead and disable freeform light just to make sure that we can see this. And let's, for instance, increase the range for the point light and then make it a little bit more like split off here. Or actually, let's make it very pointy like this. Increase the zone and increase the outer angle just to make it a little bit more like smooth, and then move it as we want to. So as you can see, it looks really nice. And you can do everything with these lights just like any other light source in Unity. So you can rotate, you know, just move around freely as you want to. So it's fantastic. And now one thing I want to mention real quick is if you have a project where you have a bunch of different scenes and not just one, you may want to enter the same settings window here, 2D render for rendering pipeline, and upgrade project to 2D render instead of the just like the specific scene. So this is going to upgrade the entire project, and this, what we picked earlier, is only upgrading the currently open scene. Alright, so that should be a pretty good overview for the 2D lights feature in Unity, which is brand new, and also for these like new features that they're introducing into LWRP or lightweight render pipeline, which is very exciting because I feel like this 2D lights feature, for instance, is going to be like a big part of making 2D games from now on, especially since they're focusing a lot more on like the new scriptable rendering pipeline, and especially the templates, the HDRP or high definition render pipeline and the lightweight one that they released. So if you guys have any questions or any ideas on what exactly they're trying to do with like the lightweight render pipeline, or if you have any features you would like me to cover and stuff like that, let me know in the comment section of this video. And also make sure to join our Discord server once again by either going to the link in the description or simply discord.gg/polyrealm, where we're basically like a community of over 10,000 like-minded game developers right now, which is still insane to say, the number itself. And we're all like-minded. We all love to chat, help out, you know, receive help and share our projects, share, you know, progress, meme, a lot of memes, just so you guys know, like it's a pretty fun community, and I would love to have you guys a part of that too. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to give this video a thumbs up to show some support, and hit the subscribe button to stay up to tune for new content. We're gonna start a bunch more 2D related tutorials and videos on this channel soon, especially regarding Unity, so make sure to stay up to tune for that. So with that being said, I'm gonna be super active in the comment section and in our Discord server, so I look forward to see you guys there. Thanks for watching, have a good night, and peace out, guys.